Hey guys, PrinceofMacedon here. We're going to do a commentary video for Total War Rome 2 from the replay. It's Macedon versus Rome. I command the Macedonians. My opponent's name is David.Holtmann, in command of the Romans. So, look at the armies. My general is a royal peltast. I have 3 Aspis companions, 2 Sarissa cav, 1 regular archer, 3 Cretans, and 6 regular pikemen. My opponent has 3 legionary cav, 1 legatus, 3 Syrian archers, 2 Triarii, 1 Vigilia, whatever, and 4 these Evocati, no, sorry, 7 Evocati cohorts. Map is Iska, another preset map, released recently by the Emperor's edition of Total War Rome 2. So my starting deployment is right here. I thought we were going to fight for these 2 hills, but my opponent is going to leave that area. So I hid 2 Sarissa cav over here. I was going to run to the next patch of cover here by these trees. My guys are still hidden. But again, my opponent's not even up there, so it doesn't matter. Still, it's always a good idea to keep units hidden if they already are. And my pikemen are rushing down, plus the Cretans and the general royal peltast unit onto this hill right here. See that? Here's my Aspis right here. If you're going to do your business with your Aspis, make sure you do it in the woods. But my opponent does not want any of that Aspis in his face, so he's going to move his guys away from his hill. He sees me trying to make a claim for it, and he is going to give it to me. Or give it away to me anyways. So he's going to rush all of his army, his entire army, down this way. It's going to be in this little area right here. So he does not want to mess with the terrain. He wants something flat. That's a pretty map, actually. When I was fighting, I didn't even look at that mountain in the back. So here's my Sarissa cav. Still hidden, of course. So I'm going to put them in these trees where they can spot enemies and also stay hidden. But yeah, regular pikemen are pretty good from the front, but anywhere else they crumble. Like if they get nailed from the flanks, they go down. But I like their cheap cost. Here's my general. Love my royal peltast. But here is the tactical overhead. These are my Aspis right here on the right. Cretans, general, and pikes, Phalanx right there, and then my Sarissa's hidden in the forest. Anyways, my opponent's going to move forward with his cav, supported by these Vigiles, whatever. He feels pretty confident having the backing of these foot infantry units, these foot spearmen. So I'm going to entice his cav to come forward even more, away from the rest of his infantry. I don't want to fight them with his the rest of these swordsmen nearby. So I'm trying to draw them back away. So here he comes. He's coming again for my Aspis. I know I can chew up his legionary cav. But with these spearmen, I'm kind of hesitant about this going into their charge. Plus it is the Emperor's edition, so his guys won't break immediately. So I'm gonna keep pulling back, keep pulling his guys away from his infantry body right here. I don't mind one spear unit right there, but all those sword units nearby, I don't want to mess with that. So I'm gonna keep jockeying for position right here. And yeah, I'm moving down my guys off this hill because he's not even gonna fight for it, so what's the point of being up there? So here come my regular archers. No match for my Cretans, of course, but it's always a good addition. Add more missiles to the firepower.
Macedon! Happy to serve the people.
So much armor for archers. I love it. Alright, so here I am going out to play again with my Aspis. So now, I have, at this point, determined that I could, you know, take those guys on. But I'm gonna need my archers to support my cav. But I don't want to make a bid for that direction yet with my archers. I want to keep them right here. Otherwise, my opponent will be tempted to move forward with his cav again. His cav and his spears. So I want to draw them even more before I start shifting my archers away from here. Don't want to telegraph your moves prematurely, because then your opponent can respond to it. I mean, he can still respond to anything, but it's still always a good idea to give him less time to respond. Complicates the thinking process. But yeah, he's feeling very confident with these spears. Plus he has his legatus unit nearby too. They can rush over there if they needed the help. But my reasoning is if I have my archers rushing over there, I could shoot down his spearmen or his cav units, whichever presents themselves first for my archers. But he's still right there, just kind of looking at my cav. And these guys, I kind of question their morale. So I figure, you know, I probably could blast them apart. But still, I think I need my archers nearby. Here come my pikemen coming off that hill that they had. All for nothing, because enemy's not even going to fight for it. And here are my Sarissa Cav. I was debating if I should keep him in reserve, or send him around this way, threaten the flank on this side. Or, I could attack over here with my Cav, wait till they get stuck in, and then send my Sarissa Cav all the way over there. I kind of go for the latter, where I use these guys to support my Cav effort on this side. You can see my opponent brought over these Triarii. These guys are a lot tougher than those these other spear units here.
Quick march.
So now, I'm gonna push my Phalanx forward now.
Advance
I need to add some
speed.
pressure to these guys, to his legionaries. Because right now, he feels very comfortable just throwing all these extra units over here by his Cav. So I want to apply pressure over here. It's kind of like when you're playing soccer. You know, you don't want to hang back too far in your defense if you're a midfielder. You want to apply pressure on the enemy's defense. That'll keep him somewhat more confused. Keep him pinned down. Alright, so now, I decided to bring my archers out now. Now I'm going to pressure forward with my Cav. And I still have my Sarissa Cav right here in reserve. These guys are pretty quick. And I figured with the Emperor's Edition units being buffed, that my guys could last long enough for my Sarissa Cav to make it over there. As for now, it's just my Aspis and my archers going to go at it with these dudes. And he's still right there. He's feeling really confident with those Triarii nearby, plus those Vigiles, however you pronounce it. Yeah, rushing these guys up. And these guys are still looking at my Phalanx here, who I was moving forward during my Cav movements. And I was making sure his general wasn't going to join. If he did, that's fine too. So now I'm going to charge right into his Legionary Cav. Start shooting these guys first. And he decides to rush in for my Cretans. Good idea, but I still have my Aspis right here too. I peeled them back. So I'm going to countercharge his Legionary Cav. And I'm losing Cretans right here though. I've already lost 17 men in that unit. And I'm also bringing down my Sarissa Cav too. And I was keeping watch on these guys, making sure they were going to peel off. If they did, then I would have rushed my Phalanx forward into that Legionary line. So it was all calculated, what I was doing here. And meanwhile, I got my spare archers right here, and plus the Cretans, shooting the backs of his Triarii. I consider them to be the biggest threat. And my Aspis are doing pretty well, even though he has spearmen nearby. This one's still at 60, even though they're being hit by Legionary Cav from multiple directions. And there go his Legionary Cav there, so that frees up more of my units. So now he's kind of screwed here, and I kept an eye on these guys too. They were still right there just watching their Cav die. He was content. And yeah, all kinds of missiles flying at his spear units right now. I figured they'd present the biggest challenge to my Aspis. And these Legionary Cav are going down really fast. You can see their numbers almost at a dozen now. They're starting to waver, and then they finally just break completely. There you go. So Cav fight is done for. Just gonna mop up these spear units who are over here. Gonna charge into these guys who are basically on the verge of being completely routed from the battlefield. So I just want to finish off their routes. Use the archers to finish off these guys too. his Triarii. So just like that, he lost a very significant portion of his army. Although for some reason the battles bar says it still favors him, I don't see how that's possible. Don't always trust the balance bar, my friends. That's all there is to it. So he lost a huge part of his army. He still has a pretty threatening force with these Evocati and these archers. And another unit of Triarii. He's going to go into a super defensive mode right now, though. He's going to try to seal this area off with the Triarii. I'm just going to line up my cav right here. This is threaten this side. Again, just keep applying the pressure here. And while that's going on, I'm moving up my Phalanx here. Phalanx and my Royal Peltist. So coming in from several directions over here. That's the new situation. So yeah, losing his cav was a huge blow to his army.
Double time.
But he's gonna try to grind it out still. But in order to ward off my cav, he has his Triarii and a unit of Evocati cohorts nearby. He thinks that's gonna be enough to stop my cav from getting behind him. So now I'm going to start the skirmish phase. I guess you can say it kind of a skirmish phase. I kind of shot his guys already, but now it's going to be archer versus archer. So proper skirmishing action on both sides now. And my guys were drained a bit from getting charged by his legionary cav. So I wasn't sure if my Cretans could, my Cretans plus the regular archers could properly exchange missile fire with those dudes. So I was going to send in my Sarissa cav and go for charges on his archers here. He moved his legatus back. So here comes my Sarissa phase here. Gonna send these guys in. Kind of a gamble, but since I have all this cav, I'm gonna start using it. So he seals off that area right here. So I can send in the cav through this little gap and the cav through this gap. But he is now targeting my Sarissa cav, which means my archers are getting free shots on his Syrian archers. So that's what I'm doing. So my guys are waiting around this side. But over here comes my Sarissa cav. They smacked into his Evocati by accident. It happens. He calls out his general, but I'm going to get a good charge on these Syrian archers. Same time, my archers are starting to wreak havoc, complete havoc on these Syrian archers. So these guys are kind of sitting here. So they're going to try to run through the gap before it closes again. They run into those Evocati though. But we still get some archers as well. And now, I see his general in the mix. I do start to target his general unit now. Trying to assassinate him here on the battlefield. Just take him out. So he is losing that unit of archers right there. So all kinds of disarray. His general's down minus 10 horses. So he's got to pull back here. As he realizes that he's getting targeted by my archers now. Wasn't a coincidence that he lost all those horses as they stole closer to my guys. Alright, so now, Phalanx versus Legionary fight. He showered my guys with their Pila. And over here, he's trying to outflank me on this side. He kind of is. But now, I got all my archers focusing fire on these Evocati. I'm gonna bring these guys around too, so covering my bases. But his archers, this one's down to 65, this one's down to 70, and that one's down to 59. So they did not completely rough in the battlefield. They came back. I decided just to charge in my general into his Evocati right here. Figured, just tie his units down. That way, when my cav gets activated, they just have some nice targets to shoot at, to charge at. Sorry. But these guys are in a very bad situation. This Evocati, because they got Phalanx in the front, and then my archers keeping them real from behind. So if he tries to outmaneuver me, he's gonna get hit. That's what happened earlier. So he is trying to kite with his legionaries. Sorry, his Evocati cohorts. So now I'm gonna start using my cav now.
Set speed!
I'm not going to charge at the backs of those Evocati because my archers have them sighted. So I'm going to roam around and just hit these legionaries from behind.
Engage!
The Evocati. So that unit already broke. My horses are just kind of trotting around the battlefield here. My Aspis came in through this gap, took out these archers. He's going to counter with his Evocati. I'm just going to pull away from him though. So look at my Aspis kind of roaming around at will now. All these little gaps they can just pour right through. It's a very porous thing my horses are trotting through. That was an ugly charge, didn't really do anything. But that's his general right there. Only at 10, they're starting to dwindle. Gonna use my Phalanx to hold back these Evocati.
As you command.
So now,
Yes, Commander.
he's still chasing, but my Aspis get away pretty quickly. So I'm gonna use my Cav Edge now. Start smacking into his legionaries from behind. That's the situation here. So I'm breaking apart his dudes methodically. Here's my reserve unit of pikemen. Gonna use him in case he tries to swing around with his legionaries. They are pretty mobile. There's my general. He finally killed his counterpart that he was fighting at when I sent them around, so I use them to charge these Evocati from behind. Massing my asses right here. I noticed these guys were in loose formation to look like. See that spacing there? Pretty sweet target for a charge, I think. Let's watch him up close action. Boom! He barely moved. That's like the 1-inch punch from Bruce Lee, but from a horse. Like a 1-inch horse punch. That's kind of gross, actually. Over here, I wasn't really caring what was happening over here, because I still have plenty of units. Got plenty more coming, too. And I got my Aspis ready to free up this unit of Phalanx here, with all these series of charges on the backs of his units here. So I definitely use my Cav Edge to the utmost here. So that unit's gone. That frees up these pike units here. So now, next target will be these archers here and the backs of these Evocati. Let's ride into the charge with these guys. Let's follow these dudes. Alright, Macedonians. Oh, some of them are hanging back. I don't think Alexander the Great would appreciate that. And my other Cav unit, I sent one of them into his archers. Just take him out. And once they're gone, I can start drilling these dudes with these dudes. It's all about freeing up your guys. It's a cascading effect. Plenty of death for everyone, though. And at about this point, his units start to break, like hardcore. With this, watch the overhead here. So yeah, that one starts to break. This one's breaking over here, and now it's everyone's breaking. So I would say the crucial part was my opponent's decision to engage my Cav when he did. Even though my archers came into the mix, he still stuck with it. I think that was the biggest decisive moment in the battle, and that's where he pretty much lost it. But he still fought on. But look at the damage. Pretty devastating on both sides here. But a good game to my opponent, David.Holtmann. Hope you guys enjoyed this battle.